Are money mistakes keeping you broke? If you're tired of watching your bank account stay empty while your dreams feel completely out of reach, this video is your wake-up call. You see, when I made $55,000 a year, checking my bank account was terrifying. And I thought that saving every penny would eventually make me rich. But then I learned the truth about what it really takes to build wealth. And now I'm a multi-millionaire business owner. These are the 6 biggest money mistakes keeping you broke and how to stop making them today. The first money mistake is the biggest thing holding you back, and that is not believing you can have the life that you want. Now I have to ask you this question. How much time are you spending trying to make more money? Because if you aren't spending a lot of time truly looking at your bank account, understanding what skills you need to develop, that time, if it's not being spent towards becoming a millionaire or getting rich or improving your financial situation, then that's why you're going to struggle. It's because you don't actually believe you can do it. Because if you believed you could do it, you would spend your time in accordance with that belief. And speaking of beliefs around money, let me just say this. You will not become rich saving money on coffee. The people out there who are shaming people for buying lattes and saying that it's financially irresponsible, that is not what's going to keep you broke. What's going to keep you broke is not believing that you can make more income, not believing that you can have a different life, so that you take the actions required. You can buy the Starbucks, get the latte, that is okay, but spend the majority of your time figuring out, how do I earn more income? How do I become more valuable so that I'm able to increase how much I make? The second mistake keeping you broke is the limiting beliefs about how you use money. If you do not see money as a tool, you will never have enough of it. I thought the purpose of money was just to store it so that I could have it in case something bad happened. I did not understand that money is a tool and you have to use money. I have $12,000 to be able to turn into $100,000. So what am I doing with this $12,000 that would allow me to make $100,000? This is where, if you do not have $100,000 in your bank account, you have to be really honest with yourself. You are broke. In order to not be broke, you have to learn skills that allows you to make $100,000 even faster than the first $100,000 that you made. But between 0 and $100,000 in your bank account, all you invest in, all you spend your time on is how you learn new skills that make you more money. And I get how hard this is to do. I remember having $3,500 in my bank account and thinking there's no way that I'm spending this on books or courses or education because I'm terrified about losing this money. I wish somebody would have told Natalie, $3,500 in your bank account, even though you feel like that's a security blanket, it's not. That will not help you. If there's a medical issue, if there's something you want to invest in, you have no money. $3,500 is no money. So take that $3,500, use it as a tool to invest in yourself to make more money, because there's something that you don't know about making money. In order to hit whatever your financial target is, you have to continuously put your money towards learning new things, self-development, and networking with people who have what you want. I still do this today. Just this year, I made a $150,000 investment for 2 days in order to go to the World Economic Forum. The whole purpose of this investment was for me to get in rooms with people that I would never normally brush shoulders with. I am there to learn, I am there to network, and investing $150,000 just to be someplace for 2 days without knowing anybody is a risk. Could we put that money towards another business? Could we put that money towards our business? Could I put that money in real estate? Yes. But instead, I recognize that in order to get to where I want to go, I need to be in proximity to the people that I want to meet and who will help me get there. So I invest my money because I recognize it's a tool for me to get where I'm trying to go. That brings us to the third money mistake, which is not looking at your bank account. Seeing what's in your bank account every day should ruin you, and you have to get ruined in order to start making better money decisions. If you really want to make more money, you have to look at how much money you make. And the best way to do this is, instead of hopping on Instagram in the morning or hopping on YouTube or going to some email that you need to follow up on, when you drive your attention to the amount of money that you make, you are able to do something about it instead of just pretending like you're doing something about it, pretending like you want to make more money. If you're not looking at how much money you make, if you're not confronting your financial statement, it's going to be hard for you to actually improve it. The more you measure something, the more you have control of improving it, because you're looking looking at it every single day. So when you look at your bank account every day, you should really be focused on how much money you are making. Now, if you have a spending problem, of course you need to address this, but the idea here isn't to beat yourself up or to feel bad about where you're spending your money. It's more so to recognize, how do I make more money? How do I focus my attention on the fact that I'm making $2,000 a month and I want to be making $20,000 a month? So what would have to happen in order for me to make $20,000 a month? How do I fix my financial situation? Because this is one of the most important concepts about money. Your expenses are only a problem if you don't know how to generate income. Because if you always increase your income, your expenses wouldn't outpace how much you're making. But you feel constraint and you feel worry when your expenses go above your income. All of a sudden things are out balanced. If you knew how to double, triple, or 10x your income, you wouldn't be worried about your expenses because you know that you can always create more. The fourth money mistake you are definitely making is thinking that long-term strategies will make you rich. 401ks and high yield savings accounts are just distractions designed to keep you in the middle class. I will never forget the first time that I learned about compound interest and how instantly overwhelmed I felt, because I realized how much of a sacrifice I would have to make today and every day for pretty much the rest of my life in order to hopefully have $1 million, to hopefully have $2 million in like 30 years from now. And as soon as I did that math, I was instantly defeated because I thought that is not a real strategy for me to make the income that I want to have. That is not the solution. That is more of a problem for me than it is a solution for me. So then what is the solution? It goes back to, how do you learn today how to make money? How do you learn to take your income from $40,000 a year to $400,000 a year? What's wild about the world that we live in is you can actually do that. You could go from being a $40,000 a year earner to a $400,000 a year earner. Now, how would you go about doing that? The fastest way you would do that is to learn how to sell. The ability to sell things, the ability to overcome objections and create income is one of the most valuable skills you can learn in order to make more money. So you really have two choices. The first choice is to always feel frustrated, to be in a scarcity mindset, to worry about your financial future, and to make a lot of sacrifices day after day, month after month in order to, in the future, have some nice payoff. Or you could think about, how would I make $2 million over the next 2 years? What would be required for me to gain the skills necessary to do that? Because I can tell you it is possible. I see business owners do that. I see sales team members go from making nothing in sales, never having sold a thing, to making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in sales. And this all comes down to how you get attention on your product, your service, your business, and then how do you convert that attention into income. It is that simple. Next up is mistake 5, which is buying things that you can't afford. This spending rule will change your financial future. If you cannot buy something twice and with passive income, you cannot afford it. Now, I learned this rule from Grant Cardone because Grant is a fantastic example of somebody who has so much financial literacy. And he taught me that if you can't buy something that's fun, something that you've always wanted, maybe it's a bag, maybe it's a pair of shoes, maybe it's a watch, if you can't buy that thing 2 times and you can't use passive income, meaning the money that you earn from your money growing, then you shouldn't buy it. You're not in a financial position to afford it. You shouldn't have to wonder, how do I know if I can afford something if you use this rule? Because if you want a bag, let's say you go down to Chanel and you're looking for a classic flap, which has gone up significantly in price, you're looking at $6,000 that you have to spend for that bag. So in order for you to apply this rule, you would have to be able to buy it twice, which means do you have $12,000? And is that $12,000 coming to you from passive income versus earned income? You should never be taking the money that you work day in and day out to create and use that money to buy fun things. You should be taking that money, put it in assets that create passive income for you, and from that passive income, you can buy whatever you want. So if you use this rule, you never have to worry about what can I afford or what can't I afford, because your earned income is going towards things that produce passive income, which creates the confidence for you that you can spend your money wherever you want, but your true wealth is not going to get destroyed because you're just spending it on fun things. If you apply this simple principle, it will change your financial future forever because you're never going to be worried about can I or can't I afford something. You will know that you can't afford something, which should create a whole lot of motivation for you to go out and make more money. And that's possible for you and you can do it. Money mistake number 6 is that flexing is the biggest red flag. It is so embarrassing to flex and buy something that you actually can't afford. When you think about the idea of making a money mistake, the mistake would be thinking that money is going to help you impress people. That's not the purpose of money. The purpose of money is so that you can create financial freedom for yourself. The purpose of money is that you can be able to spend whatever you want without having the fear and the anxiety that you could go backwards. So in order to create that foundation, you don't get there through buying things that you can't afford. Now, I get why you would want to do this because it makes you feel better. It's an impulse purchase. You think people will take you more seriously. And don't get me wrong, the way that you look and the way that you present yourself does help people take you more seriously. However, when somebody shows up to one of our events and they've decided to rent a Rolls Royce or they're cruising in a rented Lambo, that demonstrates to us that there is a huge red flag because it's very likely that that person can actually afford it, which would demonstrate to us that they don't actually know what to do with their money. And they think that that's a flex. They think that that's cool, when really that's a huge red flag because as a business owner or somebody who's successful, you don't buy things you can't afford. You have strict financial discipline because you recognize that money is a tool and you only have so much of it to use to grow, to use to multiply, to use to create more resources in a business. So if you dig deeper into why you feel the need to flex or to buy something that you can't afford, ask yourself this: who am I trying to impress? Because if you're trying to impress somebody that's not you, there's no purpose in going out and buying that thing. And if you look at your bank account and you would actually feel upset with yourself, frustrated with yourself, maybe even disappointed that you purchased that thing, then you recognize I am trying to impress somebody else and I need to flip the script. Because what's truly impressive is being able to create a financial legacy that you feel proud of, not by having the coolest bag or the latest watch. And the people that you want to impress aren't actually impressed by it. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in the luxury game and trying to impress other people, because it will actually have the opposite effect. I hate it when people beat up on millennials and Gen Z for buying these sweet little treats and that the sweet treat is the death of the economy. Listen, there is no coffee or lip gloss or one thing that is going to create the financial ruin of an entire generation. What is going to create the ruin is if that same group of people doesn't think that they can go out and have those things. It is not bad for somebody to want a freaking latte. It is not bad that you want to have the latest bag, the latest shoes, whatever the latest thing is, as long as you work to go create those things. So I'm not here to shame you about the sweet little treat that you want, but don't deprive yourself of those things or think that you can't have those small little luxuries every once in a while as a reward, but tie it to a reward. Once you complete a book, once you actually implement what you read in that book, when you have completed a course, make these sweet treats tied to you bettering yourself to make more income, because it is important to celebrate those wins. But the main focus shouldn't be buying those things because they make you feel better, because the purpose isn't to make yourself feel better because you're buying those things. The purpose is for you to make yourself feel better about who you're becoming and the education that you now have and the skills that you've acquired so that you can go and take action in your life to improve your life. If you're serious about leveling up your money mindset, watch my video on how to create your dream life. It's the next step in building the life you deserve.